On the topic of business, how did you then go from singing and performing to starting a PR company?
Some of it was accidental. When I arrived in Sydney, I knew that I had to start thinking about what I was going to do next. And I was 25, and I knew that I loved the media, and I knew that I loved to write. I knew that I loved to problem solve. And I started looking at what jobs I could effectively have that would fill that need. And journalism was one of the first things that I thought of. I just wasn't too sure about working in a newsroom. And when I thought about PR, initially I went, oh, that's like publicity or promotion. And I knew I was already working with the media a little bit in terms of promoting myself and my band. And I just thought it was something that I could probably do intrinsically. So I went back to uni, studied online again, and did a graduate diploma in media and communications, and then just started working almost straight away, picking up different skills in different organisations. One of the very first PR jobs I had was for a small boutique Sydney firm that looked after a lot of financial clients, and I did realise fairly quickly that financial PR was not something that I really wanted to do. I enjoyed creating stories about things that I was really interested in and passionate about, and money for the sake of money wasn't interesting to me. So that was, again, great lesson. You start to work out, you rule out the things that aren't interesting to you, and you go from there. So fast forward, I'm going to say about 5 years after that decision, or maybe not quite that long, I ended up getting what was my dream job at the time, and it was as the PR director at Universal Music Australia, where I got to combine my two loves of publicity and music. And again, what got me that gig was obviously helping that I had that music background. I had this music degree, and I then had this absolute interest in publicity and working with creatives. Working with creatives too is a bit of a skill. People don't necessarily realise that creative talent have their own specific way of working and their own specific ways of doing things and thinking, and being able to work with them and get the best out of them is something that I've really enjoyed doing, and that's something that really set us apart when we then set up the comms department.